Equity is not only about this idea of things being balanced and people being invited and included, but it is a willingness to hear what every single person has to say. So when we talk about equity in our food system, equity specifically in our food system at school, we're talking about what are the voices that maybe we haven't always invited into the conversation. Have we ever asked the kids what they think about the food? Not just assumed that we know, but actually asked them. Have we asked the people working in the kitchen what they think about their preparation? Have we asked the people providing the food what they think about the quality of their food, the delivery, how the food is being made? Have we asked the administrators what they think about the food in our school system? Have we asked the parents? Have we just assumed they're happy that their kids are eating, so we're just not going to ask them? Have we asked the community if they have ways that, depending on what they do, whether they're farmers or people who own a shop or whatever, how they could contribute to the system? Equity, when it comes to our food school system, is about, hey, opening up the conversation. It's not just a system that's designated to our school to feed our kids. It is a community conversation that has to happen.
My name is Lyndon Thayer, and I'm the co-founder of Food Insight Group, or FIG for short. For the Lincoln 27 and Beyond project, I am bringing both some of the evaluation pieces and also a focus on equity into this work. And so we want to look, in a school food situation, we want to look at it and say, where are all the places in which equity could be at play, or it could be an inequitable situation, and how can we set it up so that the system is going to make it so that it is much more equitable for everyone involved, students, staff, teachers, parents. And so when we think about doing what Beyond Green wants to do, which is to bring better, fantastic food to all students, one of the pieces is going to have to be a specific and explicit focus on equity, because if not, we can fix all the pieces that we think need to be fixed in school food. We can train the staff on how to cook fabulous scratch cooking. We can source local products. We can get the kids all excited and buying local food. But at the end of the day, we'll miss the boat. And the system, when it moves forward and is a sustainable model, will continue to perpetuate some of those inequities.
What we teach our kids now about food, I have a kindergartner, so what he learns now about food is beginning to shape what he believes about food as he gets bigger. And so if we can have that conversation at school, maybe he'll also be willing to have that conversation at home. Maybe if he has to go somewhere and be with somebody that is not his family and they eat something different, he'll be willing to try it because he's had these conversations at school. You know, school is a place where we educate. That's what we think about school. We think about, math, writing, science, that kind of stuff. But school is also a place where our education is about more than a subject. It is about who are they becoming as people. And so what can our teachers and our staff and our administrators and our cafeteria add to what our kids are learning about who they can become? What we're trying to teach them and encourage them is you can become anything. That also includes becoming somebody who eats different food, which is part of the process.
So we know that even in utero forward, we're building those palates. And it continues, and exposure is so important. That's why culturally relevant foods are important for many reasons, in terms of feeling accepted in a community, in terms of bonding in community, and also because we grow up, and what I grew up eating is going to determine what I am comfortable with and what I like. And my palates can shift, and they do, and taste buds change, and you grow over time. As you age, you lose some of them, and you want more salt because you can't taste the salt. There are some basic biology things that happen too. But yes, it is exposure, and it's repeated exposure. So again, a school is a great place to do that because kids can see the same thing on a cycle menu every 3 or 4 weeks for a whole school year, and that's when they're going to become comfortable. And so if you have that fabulous food, accessible, building those nutrient-dense palates from that age group, there's no better place to do it than here. And there will be sort of a lag potentially because what they're getting at home, and we can talk about that too, but if it's different, and we get them for 2 out of the 3 meals a day, you have to grow those kids up to then be the parents who provide that food at home. If it's not accessible because of finances and other reasons, then this is the perfect opportunity to say Lincoln 27 and Beyond is something that's going to snowball other projects. So you've done schools, great. Well, let's look at the prison system and the hospital system. Let's look at what is available in the community in terms of farmers markets, co-ops, whatever it is.
But I think one of the things that this community and all of these various places is looking to do is to kind of lift up, okay, how can we do this differently and include people from our community, right? So how do we include people who, like Mount Pulaski is starting to do a cooperative grocery store. So there are obviously enough farmers to contribute to something like that. Let's get to know those people and see, hey, would they be willing to participate in our school system? We're associated with 4-H University of Illinois Ag in the Classroom, right? So how can we support what they're doing and bring it into our school system? And so there are plenty of those people in our community. We're gonna have to find them, so it's gonna take some work. But sometimes it goes back to the equity question of, who have we asked? Are we asking the right people to be a part of the conversation? Are we inviting and including the right people to help change how we do things for the better? And until we ask, we don't know. And until we know, we're not gonna purchase from there. So we have to do some work in, are we asking the right people to even change how and what and who we purchase from?
I mean, I will say the other half of what we're doing here is that we're trained as evaluators. So we are measuring, and I mean, this is critical for moving forward, is sort of, how can we capture what's happening, both in a quantitative and a qualitative way, to make this a sustainable program and to make it something that's going to have these greater impacts throughout the community, not just in the school building itself. We've done surveys with all kinds of folks in all kinds of situations talking about school food and other institutional foods. But we've never done it where a community was so engaged and so aware of what was happening and excited about where we were going. I mean, I've done a lot of survey work just to sort of do that baseline, get a pulse on what's happening, and then report back that nothing could ever happen here because it's too hard. I mean, that's often sort of the bottom line. And in this story, it's something very different. There's just real interest in moving forward and doing better.